Hello, I am Sophronia Scott, Director of the Alma College MFA in Creative Writing, and it's Faculty Friday. This is your chance to meet one of the amazing faculty members that you'll get to work with as a student in our MFA program. And today I have with us Anna Clark, who is a faculty mentor in our creative nonfiction genre. She's the author of the fabulous book, The Poison City, Flint's Water and the American Urban Tragedy. Thanks for being here today.
This is a pleasure. Thank you.
So, Anna, you write a lot of journalism, nonfiction, and this book in particular, I know is an amazing book, but I know I can tell from reading it that it's also an emotional book, because you're not just talking about the facts of what happened to the water in the city of Flint, Michigan, but also the stories, the personal stories of the people who got sick, the people who were fighting to let the authorities know that there was something wrong with the water. And when you lectured at summer residency, you talked about how doing this kind of writing isn't just about putting words on the page, that there is a physical element, that it can affect you physically. And I wanted to know if you could tell us more about that.
I think this is a really under-discussed part of the writing life. I mean, we do talk about the mental and intellectual challenges and the oftentimes the emotional journey, and we don't always connect it to the fact that it's also very much a physical, embodied experience being a writer. And I definitely feel this. I definitely felt that with that book, and I feel this every time I sit down to write. When you're really exploring something that is that matters, that really matters, like in your life, in the world, and in the lives of others. And when you really care about getting it right and finding a true and beautiful way of expressing something to connect with other people. I mean, this isn't, it's not just like some sort of abstract exercise, like you start feeling it with like every cell in your body. And for me, like, I mean, that showed up in a lot of, like just a lot of tension, a lot of, stress. I literally have a white streak in my hair that's kind of like my flint stripe. Like that definitely, that was directly related to the experience of the book, because like I'm waking up in the middle of the night, like just like thinking about all these stories and like caring about it, and like how can I like really like do just in words. And one thing I've learned along the way is to like not just sideline this piece of the writing experience, but to really like think about it as part of it, as and just like, and I think as writers, whatever kind of project we're working on, it's important to like take care of ourselves physically, to make sure that, to consider, for me, like a jog after a really difficult writing experience is part of the writing experience, and like I need to like release some of that, making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure you're like eating well, making sure that you're having some way to like, to borrow a phrase from another writer, complete the stress cycle, and to just like make sure that like we're physically taking care of ourselves. And this also goes for like the literal act of writing too, like I remember that, just like what kind of I've thought a lot about that, just like how we're holding ourselves, like as we sit and write, and obviously that can have like long-term impacts on our bodies. I just think that it's too, like, I would love to see writers like care about this part of the experience, think intentionally about this part of the experience, as well as all the other meaningful and important parts of writing, because I think if we're going to be writers for the long haul, for the rest of our lives, and do work that we believe in, we've got to be thinking about the whole embodied experience.
Yes, I agree. And that's why I like scheduling movement into our residencies.
Yeah.
I know our bike ride got rained out in summer residency, but in winter, I'm still hoping for us to get outside, to walk around, and even to do some movement activities indoors during the residency, because I too believe that it's important to get that energy moving, because so much comes up during residency, because we're focus so intensely on the writing, and also the energy of meeting so many new people around us.
Yeah.
And even though it's exciting, it's still a kind of stress that
Mhm.
needs to be processed.
Mhm.
But it's so important to be aware of that at all times, what's going on within us.
Yeah, I definitely I'm excited about that with the winter residency, and like because we can as a community like really model that, right? Like really model this like multi-dimensional way of being a writer. And I could see that too, like during the summer. Well, the bike ride didn't end up happening. Like people were going on walks. People were did their downtimes to go for a run. Like they were like people were find like you could see like people had the natural instinct to like counterbalance all the other stuff we were doing with some kind of like physical engagement.
Yeah, a student was telling me that our visiting writer, Khaled Madawa, when Khaled was reciting that poem during his lecture, and there was that particular phrase that he kept repeating, and this student said that he felt like he felt like he was being hit with a sledgehammer every time he heard that phrase, and not necessarily in a bad way, but it was just affecting him. And he said, I didn't know creative writing could feel like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful expression. And I know I understand that, like, right, like how can we like with our words, like with our voices, which is a physical too, like how like that experience of like, just being open to receiving that's really beautiful and life sustaining, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. It's because we're moving it around, we're sharing it, and we're putting it out there, and we're taking it in. So
Mhm.
it's just an amazing cycle.
Yeah. Who knows what we're going to shake out.
Well, Anna, thank you for sharing these thoughts with us today. And thank you, the viewer, for being with us. This is Faculty Friday, and we are with the Alma College MFA in Creative Writing. To learn more about our program, you can check out our website, alma.edu/MFA. We are currently accepting applications for our winter residency. The deadline is November 1st. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm Sophronia Scott. She's Anna Clark. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.